And seemingly no signs of that at the moment. We cut across to more breaking news coming in. Iran has released footage of its drone arsenal and launches towards US-Israeli targets in the region. Those pictures that have been released by Iran. Iran, that is clear, we will not back down. And they are saying we will go all out. Those are the pictures that have been released by Iran to showcase their combat capability, their drone arsenal that have been launched towards US-Israeli targets in the region. Just a short while ago, we got you pictures of how US base that had been hit by Iranian drones in Kuwait, and an F-15 jet that had fallen. Of course, details of that have not been determined yet of what exactly caused that crash. But this is Iran flaunting its combat capability as they say, we will not back down. We will take on our adversaries. They have been going on striking US bases in the Gulf nations, US bases even in the European nations. And while we see how all of them are now coming against Iran, Iran in no mood to back down. This video that has been released by Iran as they showcase what they are capable of doing and what they are going to do. Iran, in a show of weaponry, in a show of drones, in a show of missiles, is giving out this message to the world, especially Israel and US at this point. They will not back down. They will go all out. What was seemingly an operation, a war that could have ended in 3 to 4 days, is now looking like there is no sign of de-escalation at this point. Iran determined to go all out after Israel and in a bid to hit US military installations. They're also striking those hits in the Gulf nations. Mayan Hoffman joining us live as we stay with those pictures. Mayan, that is very strong messaging coming in from Iran, clearly indicating we will not back down. We are ready. We are out there to take you on.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. And certainly, where I'm standing right now in Jerusalem is 500 meters from the Temple Mount, where last Saturday, actually the first day of the escalation, there was actually a lot of shrapnel that fell in this area and caused some destruction. Again, really just 500 meters from the Temple Mount here in Jerusalem. Last night, we saw again a direct hit in Jerusalem that injured 7 people, 5 that are still in hospital, including 1 critical. Iran is continuing to step up their attacks. We saw what happened in the Gulf region this morning, and we've already been in the shelters 2 or 3 times since the start of the morning. And that was after a relatively quiet night. I think some Israelis got a little bit hopeful, but we always know when there's quiet, there's going to be more of a storm. And certainly that's what we've seen. In addition, Hezbollah has entered the war. Israel was attacking in Hezbollah, killing over 100 people yesterday, as well as trying to stop some of the core targets. Hezbollah shot in rockets for the first time, saying it was in support of Iran, hitting 2 houses in the Galilee. Nobody was injured in those attacks. The houses were destroyed.
In the frame to show us those pictures of what exactly happened there, I believe you're at the location where the missiles fell yesterday. What does it look like?
So I'm not at the location where they fell yesterday and where they fell on Saturday. Just next time I'll jump on with you, I'll be at that next location. Both of these places, though, are in Jerusalem. Har Hotzvim, where I'm going to head to next, where there was the direct strike yesterday, is closer to the main highway that leads to Tel Aviv and not so near the old city and all of the holy sites. Where I am now, which is right across from what we call Sultan's Pool, is where the first rockets fell. There's not this was shrapnel. You can't get to the site of the actual damage. They blocked it off. So I'm standing sort of across from the entrance to that. But this is an area where really, if it had been just a few 100 meters difference, it would have hit the holiest sites to Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
You're talking to us, Mayan, in terms of what these areas are, how they have been sealed, what are the areas that have been evacuated, especially for the civilians, most of them who are also in bunkers to stay safe. What is the sense you get from civilians there?
Look, civilians are very tense. I mean, I was down in the bomb shelter myself this morning with a bunch of my neighbors who were starting to feel very fearful. One of them said she woke up at 4 in the morning thinking that she had heard rocket sirens, but of course there weren't any at that time. She woke up her husband in the house. People are rushing down. I have several kids, but my youngest daughter runs down the stairs. Over 175 people have been injured actually running to their shelters because of they're so tense and nervous. Many people are being treated for shock. Magen David Adom, our first response, you know, uh, our first responders, they sent out a message this morning about the several hundred people who have gone to the hospital. If you remember, in the last war, it was 12 days, 28 people died, and over 3,000 people were injured. And just yesterday, we saw 9 Israelis killed in a direct hit, including 6 members of the same family in a direct hit in Beit Shemesh, which is a neighborhood or a city between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv in central Israel. We've also seen, as I said, 2 houses destroyed in the Galilee this morning. And on my way here in Jerusalem, there were sirens again in the south near the Gaza envelope, where we, had all the large war with Hamas in Gaza.
But Mayan, with the sort of messaging coming in from Iran, doesn't look like the situation is going to de-escalate anytime soon. And people must be prepared for a temporary halt at this point, not really knowing how uncertain the situation is. What really is being told to the people in terms of stocking up essentials, in terms of, where to stay away from, how to stay safe, and especially to have minimal damage?
100%. So there are several different factors. I mean, first of all, you're 100% correct. We don't think that this is going to end quickly at this stage. Our chief of staff, Zamir, this morning let the Israeli people know that we're in this for the long haul and to hold tight because we're going to keep going. Just last night, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu delivered a similar message. And we've all heard from President Trump that we're looking at a minimum of 4 weeks. So here in Israel, the Home Front Command has instructed people to be near their shelters. They send out a warning 8 to 15 minutes before when a rocket is launched from Iran, to let us know that it's coming. And then a siren goes off. And depending on where you are, you have a minute or so to get down to that shelter. And then you start to hear the interceptions overhead. In terms of stocking up, they are keeping the grocery stores open. They are keeping the pharmacies open and areas that are, that provide essential products. But schools are closed. Places of business are closed, and you're not allowed to go to work unless you're considered what they call an essential worker. So the country is by and large shut down. I mean, even here where I'm standing, even though I'm in a kind of an area near, as I said, Sultan's Pool, which doesn't have cars, going above me, there's a main road, and there are almost no cars on the road because people are being asked not to travel. Buses and trains, they're only running about once an hour. It's very difficult if you don't have a car to get from place to place, because the country is trying to stay safe. And as we saw yesterday, even when you're in a shelter, a direct hit can be deadly, certainly if you're outside of one.
Oh, yes, absolutely, man. Requesting you to stay safe, and we'll come back to you in a short while from now as you continue to give us an overview of what really is it on the ground and how is it changing from one location to the other.